Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Sunday, July the 7th, the year 2019. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly open and gap. But before we get started, money and risk management. You know it's important. So make sure you control your risk on each and every trade. And you do that by having your position size and stop loss calculated and placed accordingly. Okay, for the week, the weekly open, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs that have not filled the gap. The euro yen gap down, as you can see here. The high of the day passed the Friday's close, so that gap was filled. Okay, the year we're still down by 372 pips. There's the yearly open way up there. For the month, we're down 118, but so far today, a week and a day, we're green. And as we're putting in, this is the first day of the week, so we're going to get that opening range. Here's the opening range for the month. You can see we're below that still. And as far as opens, we're above June, but still below July. That's why we've got red on the monthly. And as you can see here, it looks like we are still above the high of the opening range here for June. Just right here. This is last month's opening range. This is this month's opening range, and we're between the two. And we're also in that inside bar that happened 2 sessions ago. This is Friday, that's Thursday. So you see here, 2 days ago, we're in it. And you can see by all these grays, we have some inside bar, and we have only one on the week. That's a fresh one right there on the euro, British pound. Range, we're still only about 6, how many, let's see, 16, we're what, 7 hours into the trading day. Still haven't had much of a range, no movement. Now we're putting in a daily H1 lowest open there, and you can see right here, weekly H1 lowest open, monthly D1 lowest open, and the monthly H1 lowest open. So you can see where we are in the holos. And we've got the buy zone here. This one, we had the pivot here. We had the close, previous week's close right there. So that was a strong bias to jump in long. And hopefully somebody did and captured some of these pips. And we're still above that weekly daily open right here. Only 28 pip range, no rat zone. Usually no rat zone trades early Sunday, or actually late Sunday here, which is still early Monday in some places of the world. We took out the pivot. Now, here we go. We've got a weekly pivot of 122.14. So that's a target that we have. 122.14. Weekly pivots usually get taken out, and we've seen that. So we've already taken out the daily pivot today. We still have a couple of missed pivots from this month, actually just last week. But if we switch over to the weekly, you can see that we have so far 3 missed pivots, including the current one. And there's the weekly missed pivots up here. But since 2015, I mean, you can count them with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you need 2 hands, but you don't need any toes to count the number of missed pivots since 2015, missed weekly pivots. So anybody who wants to go put the statistics in their favor, look, you can almost enter here, look to exit here at 122.14. And just remember, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine, so you might want to seek help from a professional, accredited, licensed financial advisor. Price action, what can we say? 2 ball at the bottom, green at the line, pro trade, green at the line, normal trade. Still pips to be had. Once again, if it opens between 2 lines, chances are, based on statistics, that price will exit at least to one side or the other, these lines. Doesn't always happen, but it usually does, based on statistics. I mean, when you're trading, if you're not basing your trades on statistics, if your method isn't solid in statistics, then what are you using? If somebody out there is doing something other statistics, I'd like to hear it. Okay, we opened in the lower wick zone the previous day, shot up to the upper wick zone of the previous day, and came back out. And as we know, price doesn't like staying in the wick zones. And here on one of my favorite charts, there really wasn't much action just at the open. Everything was saying go long here. It's Sunday. Really not much happening on the tick level. And you can see here, there's just not much action today. Maybe they're waiting for some news or something. I don't know. And once again, we can look at the highs being taken out, or lows being taken out. Also on the daily, and look at the highs and lows being taken out. Oh, in case you're wondering what this indicator is, it's just THRO HL5, and the settings are, where is it? Only show not crisscross true. So if you turn that, set that to true, as price crosses a line, a high or a low, it gets erased. And looking at the opens right now, just the Australian Tokyo. You know, I need to go back in and fix this indicator. I don't know why it does that. Here we go on the range. From the open right here, you see price hit the D1 open plus ATR3. So it's obvious that these ranges were not that high, considering we've only got 28 pips and it's already hitting the ATR zone. So we had a very low ATR 3 days ago. And once again, just looking at the weekly buy zone here, using that weekly open, 121.61. Every time price crisscrosses, just go in the direction of the cross, have your stops in place, and be ready. This is where you can make the boatload of the pips, because price has the range. You can see here, weekly average range 169. But if you do the frequency distributions, you know where the sweet spot is. So that's about it. I know it's late on the East Coast. I was busy, didn't get the video out early enough. But anyway, as you trade this week, fellow traders, always remember, never forget, It's not what you trade. It's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks.